CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Connor Hogg.
Although our government does support Alberta remaining in Canada, we think that today's decision by the court will deny opportunity to well over 300,000 Albertans to have their petition verified.
An Alberta judge has ruled a Separatist petition invalid, saying the provincial government failed to consult with First Nations. The Premier says the ruling is anti-democratic. Good evening. Lawyers tell CTV News today's ruling effectively stops the pro-independence petition in its tracks. Separatist group Stay Free Alberta says it's working on an appeal right now. That group's CEO, Mitch Sylvester, says while he disagrees with the decision, he's not surprised. He says the fight to separate will continue, and he expects the Premier to step in.
According to our lawyers, there's lots of grounds for appeal here. So, at that point, I believe it'll just delay the process a bit. But, also, from my perspective, I know it's going to anger everybody on my side.
Separatist group Stay Free Alberta handed in its petition last week. Organizers say it had just over 300,000 names. It required 178,000 in order to trigger a referendum. Several Alberta First Nations argued the province's referendum process and its use by separatists was unconstitutional. They also said separation would violate treaty rights. A judge said because the province did not consult with First Nations, it breached its duty. Premier Danielle Smith says she does not accept the ruling.
This judgment, we think that there has been an error in law, which is why we're going to be appealing it, and we think it's anti-democratic. We want to make sure that that citizens who participate in good faith in this process have an expectation that the Elections Alberta is going to validate their signatures.
When asked if she would call a referendum on separation herself, Smith said government decisions are made through committees, cabinet, and caucus. She says the province will appeal the decision, and she'll have more to say after she speaks with her cabinet and caucus. The organizer of the Forever Canadian petition, which aims to keep Alberta in Canada, says this should be the end of the road for separatists.
Appealing these questions and dragging Albertans through even more angst and expenses is not the right thing to do. It may be politically expedient to do, but it is not the right thing to do. So I really hope that the Premier will make the right decision and simply say, separatists, look, I acknowledge that you feel the way you feel, but simply your question cannot be put on a referendum in Alberta.
Elections Alberta says it needs time to review this decision and determine what that means for it, as well as citizen initiative petitions that are in progress. Elections Alberta says the Centurion Project may not have shared the full list of people who accessed its database as ordered by a judge. The separatist group is accused of illegally using Alberta's voter list. Now, Elections Alberta is hoping those involved, including one of the group's leaders, will comply with a court injunction or face legal consequences. CTV's Tyson Fedor reports.
Elections Alberta says the man at the center of a massive public data leak is not cooperating with its investigation. The agency says a voting list of names and addresses of 3 million Albertans was illegally obtained by a group bent on Alberta separation.
This is a really important and critical matter. And we understand how important it is for Albertans to have it dealt with swiftly.
David Parker, one of the leaders of the Centurion Project, is accused of using the voter list to create an app. In doing so, Elections Alberta says the privacy of millions of Albertans was breached. They also say Parker is not complying with signing off on a declaration that he will cease and desist with respect to using that list. Parker says he will not be forced into a, quote, unconstitutional trap. His lawyer says in a statement that the state is attempting to use civil proceedings to compel sworn evidence while an investigation is underway.
Let's remember that the Centurion Project is responsible for the unauthorized misuse of the list of electors. And we're doing everything within our powers to try and monitor where that information may have gone.
Elections Alberta is pursuing Parker through court to be held in contempt. More than 500 cease and desist letters were sent by the agency. Anyone caught in violation could face fines of up to $100,000 or up to a year in jail. Calgarians say they are not pleased by this data breach.
It's a concern. Nobody wants to have their, personal information, whether it's medical or anything else that's privileged or private, taken away from them.
It's unsafe for anybody to have public information out there on yourself is very scary.
It's disturbing and makes you feel a little bit vulnerable.
Alberta's official opposition is now blaming the Premier's leadership for the breach.
She is so weak because she is so scared of the Separatists. She is so scared of her own friends that she won't even lift a finger to say, hey, you ought not to be threatening the lives of people.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
2 Red Deer teenagers are facing assault charges while the girl they're accused of attacking recovers from a concussion and black eyes. It's the second assault between teens in that city in 1 week. As CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports, some parents in Red Deer say they're concerned for student safety.
14-year-old Rylan Brinston's injuries are still fresh. A concussion, 2 black eyes, and burst blood vessels from an attack by some of her peers.
The introduction, the first hit, and waking up in the hospital for sure is what I remember.
It happened Monday afternoon on this grassy hill near a Red Deer recreation center. Stephanie Rempel got a call that her daughter had been injured. When she went to pick her up, Rylan was covered in blood.
It's traumatizing as a mother, and then watching the photos and the videos, and it was awful.
The video is circulating in Red Deer social media groups. CTV is not showing the teens in it. One girl repeatedly punches Rylan in the face and slams her head into the ground. Later, she's held down and kicked. It goes on, uninterrupted, for at least 2 minutes. The video ends before the punching does.
Violence, that's pure violence, and not even, that goes beyond a school fight or just anger. That's severe.
RCMP have arrested 2 14-year-old girls, charging them both with assault causing bodily harm. One is also charged with choking. Police recently laid aggravated assault charges on 3 different teens for a separate violent incident in Red Deer May 4th. It has community leaders searching for answers.
Clearly something is missing. There's got to be a way to respond to these. The message needs to be sent that this is not behavior that is acceptable.
They shouldn't be allowed back into school, right? You're done for the year. Get the out, find a new school to go to.
Red Deer Public Schools tells CTV it's using the maximum disciplinary measures available under the Education Act. Rylan won't be going back to school this year, at least she says not in person. Her mom wants to see meaningful consequences.
What they did was completely violent, brutal attack, and that's not something that should be taken lightly, I don't think. They're old enough to know what they've done and know better.
Rylan's school, Hunting Hills High School, went on lockdown, then sent students home early Wednesday as RCMP responded to a bomb and shooter threat. They did not say whether those threats that proved to be false were related to the attack. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Red Deer.
A woman who was attacked by 2 dogs that later killed an 11-year-old boy recounted the event in court today. This video from Crystal McDonald's trial shows McDonald's friend playing with her dogs in February 2024. Things take a dangerous turn when she's pushed to the ground. The other dog quickly runs over and both attack. The video is graphic, so CTV is not showing the entire video. The friend told court today she suffered broken ribs, a punctured lung, and several serious bites, requiring more than a dozen stitches. She spent 4 days in hospital and couldn't work for weeks. She said if her 2 friends weren't there to pull the dogs off her, she would have died. McDonald is facing a criminal charge of criminal negligence causing death after her dogs killed Cash Grist in her home 2 months later. 2 people are in critical condition after a charter bus crashed this morning on a northern Alberta highway. RCMP say the bus was carrying oil and gas workers to Grande Prairie when it veered off the road and into a ditch near Beaver Lodge. 17 people were on board at the time. Emergency Health Services says 11 people were taken to hospital. 4 had life-threatening injuries. 2 were airlifted to Grande Prairie Regional Hospital in critical condition. Police say they don't know what caused the bus to crash. RCMP say they're not looking at speed, alcohol, or weather as factors. People in Woodlands County won't be able to return to their homes just yet. The county says the wildfire near Whitecourt that forced dozens out of their homes is now being held. Emergency crews are now doing safety assessments. They're looking at road conditions and damage to property. County staff are contacting property owners directly with any updates. The The county says crews are also developing a phased reentry plan that will likely happen over several days. They say it can only happen once the evacuation area is deemed safe. Sources say the federal and provincial governments have come to an agreement on carbon pricing, potentially paving the way for a new pipeline to the West Coast. Industrial emissions have been a sticking point in November's Memorandum of Understanding between Ottawa and Alberta. The two sides have reportedly come to terms. CTV's Tim Brooke has more.
He was not saying much heading into a cabinet meeting Wednesday, but sources tell CTV News Prime Minister Mark Carney was just minutes away from briefing his team on a new agreement with Alberta.
Minister, are you willing to allow a new pipeline without carbon capture and storage, sir?
Those sources say Carney will be in Calgary Friday to announce a deal on industrial carbon pricing. That is largely seen as the last puzzle piece in a wide-ranging memorandum of understanding that will likely lead to a new bitumen pipeline to the West Coast.
At some future point, when the project is submitted for consideration in June, then the formal consultation process begins.
The deal is centered around a $130 a ton carbon price by 2040. That's $40 lower and 10 years slower than what was originally proposed.
With enough time, enough advance warning, we can prepare and we can still be competitive, and we'll still have a great opportunity for industrial development in this province.
Business is happy. Environmentalists are anything but.
The idea of a $130 ton carbon price by 2030 or 2040 effectively guts Canada's most important and last standing climate policy.
2030 is viewed as the threshold to kickstart massive decarbonization projects and help Canada meet emissions reduction targets. The new agreement could kibosh those plans.
Ultimately, with this decision, the federal government has basically turned the system into a permission slip for polluters to keep polluting for another decade and a half.
And next door, there are other concerns. BC's premier believes it's special treatment for those who rebel.
If we have a federal carbon price of $170 and Alberta has a federal carbon price of $130, that is part of the components that a project proponent will consider in deciding where to move forward.
The lone Liberal MP in Calgary says all parties can be happy, but it will take balance and even more dialogue.
This is a pragmatic government, and it's a government that wants to work with people from all walks of life.
Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
Coming up next, let the countdown begin. Opening dates for the City of Edmonton's outdoor pools have been scheduled. Also just ahead, a recent quality of life survey has found Albertans are more likely to be dealing with unhappiness in their lives.
With what's been going on in the economy and just a lot of tough financial hardships that I've seen among friends and other people.
Good evening, folks. One last warm day today as we get to 20 degrees here in Edmonton, mid-20s. In the eastern and northeastern Alberta, there is a big cool down on the way for the next couple of days, though, and some rain and a lot of wind. This will be more of a windstorm than a rainstorm for the city of Edmonton Thursday. We'll talk more about all that. Look ahead to the long weekend in just a few minutes.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
The Edmonton Public School Board is looking at reworking its second language requirements. Its superintendent says after 20 years, it may be time to make some adjustments. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti reports.
Learning to greet people with bonjour or hola is an option for many students at Edmonton Public Schools.
It's a very common human experience to speak more than one language.
Right now, learning a second language from grade 4 to 9 is a requirement. A recommendation report to the board trustees says the policy hasn't been reviewed since 2006.
The context of our school division, our society, our world has changed. And so I'm viewing this as an opportunity to look at the board policy where the second language requirement is required.
Superintendent Ron Thompson says the number of English language students in classrooms has grown.
It becomes really tricky to timetable and to provide the appropriate supports for students because we've got a mandatory second language component.
EPSB offers classes such as Arabic, Mandarin, Mandarin, German, Spanish, Hebrew, and more at certain schools. While French is an official second language in Canada, it's not a required course. University of Alberta Education Assistant Professor Ava Becker says there are many benefits to speaking more than just English.
When we're learning languages together in a classroom context, we're learning so much more than vocabulary and grammar. We are learning cultural ways of communicating.
Something Thompson supports.
Let me be very clear. We value second language instruction, and second language instruction is not going anywhere. It's the requirement to have it.
The EPSB trustees voted unanimously to ask administration to provide a recommendation for what engagement would look like.
Is this an opportunity for us to look at that board policy requirement to have this second language instruction in place and hear from our students, staff, and families about what that might look like moving forward?
The Board of Trustees will need to vote on whether to proceed with engagement after a recommendation comes to them. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
The province and federal government are promising $323 million for dozens of new affordable housing projects. The money will go towards 41 projects across Alberta, with accessible housing units making up at least 10%. It will also go towards 70 new shelter spaces. The province says the projects will help ensure seniors, families, recovering addicts, and people with disabilities have a roof over their heads. The province is providing schools with more supports for classrooms.
We're taking practical action to support students and teachers while improving learning conditions across the province.
The funding and new teachers announced today will be provided to school boards to support the hiring of 1,481 new teachers for the largest K-9 classrooms in Alberta, as identified by our data.
$200 million will go towards hiring teachers. The province used data from 108,000 classrooms studied by the Class Size and Complexity Committee to decide how the money will be divided. Each school board across Alberta will be able to hire at least 3 new teachers. Schools in Edmonton will receive $59 million. These 1,400 new teachers are part of the 1,600 teachers promised by the province earlier this year.
We need to make sure that any measures by government that are aimed to address complexity and class sizes are being maintained through the next several years. The problems are not going to be solved by a magic band-aid of funding for 1 year and then have that band-aid taken away the years after that.
The province says more than 90,000 new students have joined schools in Alberta over the last 4 years. Ground broke today on an international cargo hub at Edmonton International Airport. The project near the 65th Avenue interchange will have a number of logistics and storage warehouses, runway space with lighting to help cargo planes land during bad weather, and a rapid aircraft fueling system. The project is expected to create 800 construction jobs and 250 ongoing positions once it's up and running. Canada's Transport Minister believes it could be the catalyst to create even more jobs. Coming up after the break, a look into why Albertans, on average, feel less satisfied than people from other provinces.
There's some people who are doing really well and other people who aren't doing as well.
Wake up with us at CTV Your Morning Edmonton for the latest local news, up-to-the-minute weather, traffic updates, and lifestyle entertainment. There's no brighter way to start your day. CTV Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays 6 to 9. Watch live on Crave.
Programming brought to you by Green Tree Outdoor Living, where your dream yard becomes a reality.
Welcome back. Couple degrees above average today. This is the last time we'll get to 20 for maybe a week. Could be the end of next week before we see 20 or 21 for daytime highs. 10, your morning low today here in the city will be around 10 for highs Friday and Saturday. You get wind warnings for the areas in green, potentially 80 to 100 kilometer per hour gusts. That would be at the extreme end. Most areas are going to be about 70 to 80. In the gray zone, which includes the city of Edmonton, 60 to 80. I think for most of the day, it's about 60 to 70 kilometer per hour gusts in the city. Sustained wind around 40 kilometers per hour. And then in the red zone, Cold Lake off to the northwest towards Peace River and Slave Lake, a rainfall warning. Now, technically, that rainfall warning does include Fort McMurray, but as you'll notice in a moment, you're going to get some rain in Fort McMurray, but the heavier stuff's probably going to be a little further south. Here in Edmonton, by the end of the day tomorrow, there really doesn't look like there's that much rain. There'd be a little bit more, it looks like, through the day Friday. Here's your bullseyes, though. Slave Lake up towards Peace River, and then from around Cold Lake back through Lac La Biche and down towards the Lloydminster area. So, yeah, Fort McMurray, you're under the warning, but it looks like the heaviest of the rainfall is going to be to the south of you. Wind is going to be the big story for much of central and southern Alberta. In that wind warning zone, as we said earlier, could see 80 to 100 kilometer per hour gusts. Here's your wind estimates. Thursday, 7 a.m., gusts to about 50, 60 kilometers per hour in the city. Even stronger in this pink zone off to the south and southeast. Look at Whitecourt area. This is not great news with the fire in that area. Gusts to about 60 kilometers per hour. Our strongest wind in Edmonton probably comes through late morning, early afternoon, although even supper time tomorrow is still gusting up over 50 kilometers per hour. It eases a little bit Thursday night and into Friday morning, but I mean, this is still pretty brisk through the day Friday, gusts 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. So not as windy Friday as tomorrow, but still a brisk start to the long weekend and cool as well. As we said, we'll be around 10 for daytime highs Friday, Saturday. There's that low pressure system spinning off, giving some heavier rain here to the south and back further to the north. We'll see some occasional showers in the Edmonton area tomorrow, but again, wind is going to be the big story. Wouldn't worry too much about this snow. This model's kind of overdoing it. Looks like that's going to be rain on Friday in the Edmonton area. There might be a bit of wet snow, though, further to the east and northeast early Friday. 9 degrees in Fort McMurray tomorrow morning, 10 for Grande Prairie and 8 in Red Deer. Daytime highs tomorrow, just 11. You're in the mid-20s today, just 11 in Fort McMurray tomorrow with some rain. 15 for Grande Prairie, about 13 in Vegreville and Lloydminster, and mid-teens for Jasper and Red Deer. Here in the city, 13, maybe 14. A few showers and howling wind. Still windy on Friday. A few showers or periods of rain. 11 and 9 for highs Friday, Saturday. Does dry up towards the end of the long weekend, though, and back closer to average by Monday and the middle of next week. That is your forecast.
The city of Edmonton has set tentative opening dates for outdoor pools and spray parks. Waquentowin Pool will be first up, scheduled to open next Wednesday, the 20th. Mill Creek, Queen Elizabeth, and Fred Broadstock will follow. The last will be Borden Natural Swimming Pool on June 20th. Some of the city's 78 spray parks are also scheduled to open this weekend, with the first opening Friday. The full schedule is on the city's website. All of these dates could change if weather doesn't cooperate. Local companies competed at Remax Field today to kick off this year's corporate challenge. As CEOs raced cardboard airplanes, company mascots charged across the field. This year's corporate challenge offers more than 25 sports and activities to choose from. Today, local companies met one another, played games, and enjoyed a bite to eat. A recent quality of life survey from Statistics Canada says Alberta is the most unsatisfied place in the country. CTV's Curtis Goodrum has more on why some Albertans seem unhappy with their lives.
The dog park, a place where many go to relax. Some Albertans say just taking their dog for a walk improves their quality of life.
I feel like in the summer it's beautiful here. There's so much room to take our dogs out and stuff.
Others feel financial pressure is leaving them unsatisfied.
With what's been going on in the economy and just a lot of tough financial hardships that I've seen among friends and other people.
According to a recent Statistics Canada survey, Alberta has the fewest highly satisfied people in the country at 38.1%. It also has the highest number of least satisfied people at 29.1%. University of Alberta sociology professor Michelle Morado says she can see why some people feel displeased in our province. It's mainly due to finances.
Alberta is a very rich province, but we're also an unequal province. So there's some people who are doing really well and other people who aren't doing as well.
According to Morado, people generally tend to look for hope in the future, which she says is something some are losing sight of.
I think there is less hope for what's going to come next and what people's futures are going to be looking like.
Statistics Canada says while the data is nuanced, it does help paint a picture of many Albertans' experience.
The data don't really tell us specifically about sadness or happiness or anything like that. It's more that we're seeing a larger percentage of people that rate that really high percentage of 8, 9, or 10 in some of the other provinces.
Still, some Albertans depend on their pets. For a welcome distraction.
And I would definitely say this is my happy place, and she's always happy to come here.
Curtis Gudrum, CTV News, Edmonton.
Thanks for watching us tonight. For the latest news anytime, visit our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. Have a good night.